everyone, welcome back to Shuo Chinese, Shuo 中文. I'm Shuo, your Chinese native speaking teacher living in Bangkok, Thailand. There's a free PDF file linked in my description, which includes 50 common Chinese mistakes of foreign learners. I want you to look at all these 50 sentences and think about the rule that you learned today. How to correct them with this rule. If you have learned Chinese for a certain period of time, you may notice that most Chinese sentences that you will encounter in your everyday life belong to this one structure: subject, predicate, and sometimes object. Do keep in mind that predicate not only includes verbs, but also adjectives, and sometimes even nouns, such as 我爱你我很高兴今天星期二 Some people may say, no, it cannot be like that. I've seen so many more complicated Chinese sentences before. Well, today let me tell you a new but very simple concept. Helpers. All those adjectives, adverbs, auxiliaries, complements, etc. All these words which are not subject, predicate, and object, we can call them helpers. Okay? Isn't it simple? We don't have to care whether it's adjective or whatever. Okay? And then you will notice that among these helpers, there are some words that describe how a thing is or how an action is, such as 聪明, 认真, 快乐. They describe how a person is or how an action is. And 在, 有, 就, they describe how an action happens. And 非常, 有点儿, they describe the degree of something. All this kind of helpers that are describing something, we can call them, how about descriptions? Listen, most of the descriptions are used before the word they describe. 我爱你 Let's make this sentence longer. Try to find some words in the helpers bucket. 聪明 聪明 describes how the person I love is. So we put it before you. And don't forget to add the 我爱聪明的你 I love the smart you. And then let's add something else. 最 the most is the degree of how I love this person. So we put 最 before 爱我最爱聪明的你 I love the smart you the most. Now you notice that the English word order and Chinese word order are different. But English, in this case, is the language that doesn't make sense now. I mean, why the smart is before you, but 最 the most is at the end? I did have a nightmare when I studied English sentence structure. Let me give you another example. 我喜欢孩子 Just ask yourself some questions. What kind of kids that you like? For me, I like the kids who are 2 to 3 years old. So 2 to 3 years old, 2到3岁 I put it before kids. 2到3岁的孩子 How do I like them? I like them so much. I think they're so cute. So I super like them. 超级喜欢我超级喜欢2到3岁的孩子 Remember what I just said? If A describes B, you simply put A before B. See how does it work? So when you are trying to say or write some long and complicated sentences, pause a little bit and ask yourself, what is the subject, predicate, and the object? And what are the descriptions or helpers that we need to use? Then you just simply put the description in front of the word that you want to describe. Let me show you a real situation. 哎，你电话，等一下啊。喂，宝 爸，知道啦。啊，好了，我也忙着呢，拜拜。I actually don't want you to think about the English sentence. How about we use our Chinese brain to think about it? She seems doesn't like something. 她不喜欢什么呢？她不喜欢一种方式。什么样的方式？啊，这个男人说话的方式。这个男人每天说话的方式吗？不是的，是他和父母说话的方式。谁和父母说话的方式？男人啊。So, see, the sentence is here. 他不喜欢男人和父母说话的方式。Think about you're gonna translate this English sentence into Chinese. What would you say? 他不喜欢这个方式，男人说话跟父母。Oh my god, that just sounds so familiar because so many Chinese learners are making this kind of mistake. Actually, there are many common Chinese mistakes of foreign learners can be explained by this rule. Let me show you. However, some other helpers, especially auxiliaries such as 过, 这, 了, or some complement that shows the result of an action, are normally used after the word they describe. For example, 我去过中国。他穿着一件红色的衣服。我认识了一个新朋友。我要想清楚这个问题。你吃完饭给我打电话。Now you can understand why 我想吃一点儿米饭。一点儿 is used before 米饭。That's because 一点儿 describes the amount of 米饭。And 可以便宜一点儿吗？一点儿 is used after 便宜。That's because 一点儿 becomes the result that I want the price to be. See? A describes B, A before B. A shows the result, A after B. To conclude, if you can remember that except some auxiliaries such as 过, 这, 了, and the result complement that shows the result of an action are used after the word they describe. Most of other helpers are used before the word they describe. By understanding this, you can get 80% of your Chinese sentence correctly. But what are the rest 20%? They include some exceptions. After all, language is what we say in our real life. It's not always like the textbook shows us. The 20% also includes some more complicated grammar, such as 把, which I already had a video, 被, 是什么什么的, etc. You need to make extra effort to study them. Good luck. But come on, how many of you guys can already speak 80% of the Chinese sentences correctly? So let's get 80% correctness first. Hit the like button if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out the great chance to improve your Chinese. I'm Shuo from Shuo 说中文. I will see you in my next video. 再见。